and Rob Young.
Coming up, the BBC has heard evidence of atrocities committed by retreating fighters in a battle raging for control of Sudan's capital city, Khartoum.
And cyber threats are on the rise in Africa, and there's a push to get more of the continent's women into IT security. But first, a summary of the latest world news.
BBC News at Fiona MacDonald. President Donald Trump has said he plans to speak to his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin on Tuesday, and that talks to end the war with Ukraine have included how to divide land and power plants. Mr. Trump said a lot of work had gone on over the weekend. The Houthis in Yemen say there have been fresh US strikes targeting them in different parts of the country. More than 50 people were killed on Saturday when similar airstrikes targeted sites, including in the capital, Sana'a. Syria's defense ministry has accused Hezbollah of abducting 3 soldiers in Lebanon and killing them. The Lebanese militant group, an ally of the former Syrian government led by Bashar al-Assad, denied the accusation. At least 15 people have been arrested over the fire that killed nearly 60 people in a club in North Macedonia. They include the nightclub manager, government officials, and members of the band that was performing at the time. The Czech foreign minister has said he'll push for EU support to keep Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty running in Prague after the Trump administration cut funding for the stations. The National Guard has been sent to the state of Arkansas to help deal with tornadoes that have so far killed at least 37 people across the U.S. A trial of strength is developing between the Trump administration and the courts after more than 200 alleged Venezuelan gang members were deported to El Salvador. A judge had blocked the deportations, adding that any planes in the air should all turn around. And New Zealand is restarting talks over a comprehensive trade deal with India after nearly a decade. The announcement came as the New Zealand Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon, prepares to meet the Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, and that will take place in Delhi on Monday. BBC News.
Thank you, Fiona, for that summary of the news. Hello, you're with Newsday from the BBC World Service with Victoria Wahunda and Rob Young. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you're well. Coming up this half hour, you'll hear stories from Sudan, from Somalia and from Kenya. Sarah and I will be here with your sport, reacting to Newcastle United's first silverware in over half a century as they beat the mighty Liverpool at Wembley Stadium. We've already sent a few texts in on that. We'll bring them to you a bit later on. Do keep them coming, please. +44 77 86 20 50 85 is the number for your reactions to all of our stories by WhatsApp or text.
This half hour in Sudan, which has been devastated by civil war. In recent weeks, troops belonging to the army have mostly encircled the capital Khartoum, coming up from the south after surging through central Sudan, squeezing the remaining paramilitary Rapid Support Forces fighters into the center. Vast areas of the reclaimed territory are completely destroyed. It's nearly 2 years now since Sudan was thrown into disarray when its army and the RSF began a vicious struggle for power in what the United Nations has called one of the world's largest displacement crises, where 9 million people have been forced to flee their homes. There have been warnings of genocide being committed in the western region of Darfur, where residents say they have been targeted by fighters based on their ethnicity. Well, let's get more now from our correspondent, Barbara Plett-Asher, who joins us now from Omdurman. Barbara, welcome back to the program, and good morning to you. You've been in Sudan now for a little while. What have you observed since you arrived?
Good morning. Yes, we arrived in the capital area nearly 2 weeks ago now, and as you have been mentioning, the army has been advancing towards the final stages of the battle to recapture it from the Rapid Support Forces. So this is quite a big moment in this area. We visited regions that had already been reclaimed.
Hello, Theo. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
Which was cleared a few months ago, and also areas east of the Nile that were taken back just a few weeks ago. And 2 nights ago, we were taken to see an army unit that was heading to the battle zone in central Khartoum for a major operation. And I have to say that last night there was a lot of shelling. And what the army is saying is that they have made advances, that they've taken key parts of central Khartoum and are continuing to move forward. So there's quite a charged atmosphere here.
So the army is saying they are taking control, but what are the people, the civilians, been saying to you?
Yes, in the visits that we've been taking over the past week or so, it's been different depending on the area. So in North Khartoum, Bahri, for example, this is very damaged. It's been very looted. So survival, food, water, medicine is at the top of people's concerns. The outlying areas in Greater Khartoum, I guess you could say, are more intact, but there's a widespread sense of trauma and also of relief. People told me that they feel safe now, that the RSF is gone. Several said they could now sleep at night. In fact, that's the first thing most people said to me, I can now sleep at night. I thought that this experience by a woman in Bahri, her name is Ikhlas Ali, it really summed up a lot of what I heard.
I
have 4 girls and a boy, so 5 children, and my husband is dead. The RSF came to us and they took everything, the nice clothing, the bed, the sheets, the television screens. They took it and left, and they told us to stay quiet. We stayed quiet so they wouldn't beat my children. That was in October. In November, they came again. Even though I'd put sharp glass on the top of the wall, that didn't stop them. They locked me and the children in the toilet so they could go and steal. Then they said, if you don't give us your gold and money, we'll take your son outside and choke him and kill him. I said, my husband's dead. Where would I get gold from or money? I could barely understand this. I used to sell bread and made about 20 cents a day.
But they didn't kill the boy.
Nothing happened to my son, but they took everything, even the torch that we used to see at night. They left us in the dark with nothing.
Here comes the violin.
Another woman, whose name was Sadia Muhammad Ali, also told a story that I heard a lot, which is about the constant threat of rape.
I'm going to start doing this more often. I'm going to stay up late.
Broke into her house one night
and, you know, play the radio.
And then said that he would come
I do this anyway, so might as well do it live.
For that, she left, afraid of what might happen when he returned.
I didn't know what he
I listened to all this. Even though some of it is, you know.
He was aggressive and he had a threatening manner. He went to my friend and grabbed her niece. And when she told him...
Let me lower this down. Yeah, you know, some people worked up over Voice of America being shut down. Me, personally, you know, it was coming. It's very, it's not Voice of America like it used to be. You know, and I know people are going crazy over it. They're, you know, screaming like banshees and all that. But, you know, the reality is that it's not the same. It's not the same Voice of America. It's not. It's very anti-American, definitely anti-Trump, very anti-American. They don't report the news like down the middle. So I don't know. People, you know, some people live in a bubble. They think that it was going to be here forever. That is not the case. You know, if you look at Radio Canada, they shut down a long time ago, and it was because of economic reasons, right? It was economics, and it's not an attack on free speech. It really isn't, because you know they can go ahead and privatize it and keep spewing the same thing. Just like I'm listening to, this is an NPR station, right? During the day is NPR. At night is, after midnight, is the BBC World Service. I listen to the BBC World Service, even though they are, you know, kind of, you know, they're lefty and what have you. But I listen to them because, you know what, I don't mind listening to another point of view. Do I agree with everything they listen to? They talk about? No, of course not. So people getting worked up about Voice of America, no, it was time coming. It was going to happen sooner than later. You know, when Voice of America was created in 1942, it was because you know, we had Nazi Germany propaganda on the airwaves. So it was a counter to that. And then of course during the Cold War, yeah. But now the reality is we do have the internet, we have social media, we have all this stuff now that, you know, it's antiquated. It's old. And listen, I love radio. You know me, I love radio. I love shortwave radio and all that. But let's be honest, it's the reality of the times. it is what it is. You know, a lot of, and I know people are going to say, well, what about those people in Africa? And, you got to understand, the people don't want, I'm talking about myself. A lot of people don't want our money being needless spending on stuff that's not really important anymore. It isn't. It's not an attack on free speech. You can still have a radio station, and of course, there's many of them, and television stations and cable news or whatever that are practically anti-American and all that. But it's not going to be at taxpayers' expense, and that's the point. That's one of the points. It's not going to be at taxpayers' expense anymore. And it is what it is, and this is a long time coming. This was going to happen sooner than later, and it happened now. He just had the guts to finally do it, and I believe NPR is going to be next. That's why I'm listening to this now. NPR, this might be gone sooner than later. NPR, because the same thing. Although NPR is domestic, the Voice of America is not domestic. It goes international. So when you're broadcasting internationally, you're bashing your own government. How's that's going to look? You understand? So that's what happened. Hey, I don't feel bad about it at all. It's just, it's a sign of the times. It's a sign of the times. A lot of stations are getting shut down for economic reasons. A lot of governments eventually are going to, for example, in Europe right now, if you go on certain websites and social media, they're not. Some of these countries are not recognizable anymore. Like England. Unfortunately, what they say, London stand. It's not recognizable anymore, and it's going to be a matter of time before they start shutting down. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Some people are shocked and surprised, and they're rolling around the floor, belly aching about this. No, this was long overdue. This is long overdue. And it's not a Trump thing. It's a USA thing. So people need to stop that. It's not a Trump thing. It's a USA thing. It's people in this country are tired of the government spending money on stuff that is not relevant anymore. It's not important anymore. And it isn't. I know some people say, well, it's the last voice of... No, it's not the last voice. Just being dramatic. It is not the last voice. They can easily, with all the, Soros money, whatever, and of course, buy any station he wants. He can, even a shortwave station, I'm sure Soros can do it, and just spew it all right there. Spew all the anti-American there. Okay? But we're not going to do it at the taxpayer's dime anymore. And that's the point. That is the point. Because, on the contrary, some people voted, I regret voting for, No. We got to cut the spending. We're going across the board. He's going to cut the spending. That's it. And a lot of it is going to uncovering stuff that I can't believe my taxpayers' money is going to this shit. To this, crazy stuff. And that's what happened. They, unfortunately for them, they kept going, they kept being lefty instead of, calling it like they, calling it fair. And I believe NPR is next. I believe NPR is next. They're going to be the next one on the chopping block. And people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They're living in a bubble. They're living in a bubble. That's not that's not happening with me, you know. This is not the same Voice of America, even from the 80s. It's not the same. So I don't know why people are so shocked.
Well, earlier I spoke to Ben Rothenberg, the New York Times tennis correspondent, who's been following the tournament for the American newspaper. I started by asking him how big of a win this was for the teen sensation.
This is a huge win for Mira Andreeva, no doubt. When you look at the list of players who have beaten world number 1 and world number 2 on their way to winning a WTA tournament when they were still under 18, the list only has 2 other players on it before Andreeva added herself today. Those players were Serena Williams and Steffi Graf, who are the 2 players who won the most majors on the women's side in the history of professional tennis. So Andreeva is still just beginning her career, but she's putting herself in some very, very rare air, what she's already doing, and it's only going to increase the amount of excitement around her and her potential. Mira Andreeva had been spotted on the horizon as a young, up-and-coming phenom in women's tennis, one to watch since she was about 15 years old, which was only 2 years ago, and she's been steadily ticking up the rankings at a time when there hasn't been an overload of teen success in women's tennis. She spent a lot of time, actually, as the only teenager in the WTA Top 100. But despite that sort of lingering, I don't think anyone thought Andreeva was going to be able to race from the horizon to the foreground quite like she has over the last month, reeling off back-to-back titles at WTA 1000 events in Dubai and now in Indian Wells, and beating a cavalcade of top players en route. Andreeva.
That's not good. That's not Cuba. Yeah, because you're wondering, this is the MLA30. It's hooked up with the copper element. I made a video on it a couple of days ago or so. I reconnected it, so I routed the wire back in the boiler room. So this is the MLA30 modified BNC connector with the copper element, pointing north to south.
Every single one of them. Here's how he closes every single one of them.
Hello, Shortwave Archive. I believe that's KYW from Philadelphia.
My 2 witnesses, unquote, Revelation chapter 11.
You know, they're not, I don't believe it. I think it's
Popular model. Like, how that applies to love. So let me ask this, because I don't know if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, pretty cool. Listening to medium wave on a 1990 Sony boombox. Yeah, nice.
And I don't know if it's real or not, but you are right in there saying it. So, and I know you feel confident about it, but I want to know why. When you say that we're here to learn a lesson and this is the lessons we want to learn, why is it, and this isn't being smart aleck in any way, I want to know the answer. Why is it that everybody thinks we're here for a lesson, that we want to learn a lesson? Can't we just come down here to have fun, to listen to Jimmy Buffett, have some little cheeseburgers, things like that?
Why is it that we always have to learn a lesson? Why is it no matter what we do, we're learning, growing? Can't we just have some time off and have fun for a lifetime?
I think some people do come down here to have fun.
I think you're right. I wish they would learn.
Let's face it, sex and chocolate, hey. That's better.
All right.
Driving her back and forth from Brooklyn to New York every single day for hours from here. Hundreds of lessons that you learn here on Earth that you would never learn over there. I mean, the elephant called cybersecurity.
Sunday morning, a playoff will decide.
And you can try and see whether or not the minor.
Although the closest medium wave station to New York State I can get is Chicago. Yeah, WGN, WBBM, yeah, I get them all here. I'm located in Yonkers, New York. But the problem is this radio, that's the lowest bandwidth filter I can go. And there's a lot of bleeding. If this could have gone down to 1 kilohertz, I would have heard those stations better. That's the only thing about this radio that I'm not crazy about. Is I wish it could go down to 1 kilohertz, because we have powerful stations here in New York City. I'm right outside New York City. I live in Yonkers, but a lot of we have a whole bunch of 50,000 watt stations, and they, bleed over. And and also this radio doesn't have single sideband, which that would have helped too.
Temporarily, it helps. Oh, you're happy with it?
Some of which could be heavy enough to cause flash flooding and damaging winds. We'll have a low dipping down to 55. Then later today, we'll have rain and drizzle continuing through the morning into the early afternoon before it slowly comes to an end west to east. Highs today up to 57. We'll have clouds breaking for clearing Monday night. It'll be cooler with a low down to 39. A nice day on Tuesday with plenty of sunshine, high 59. A mix of clouds and sun on Wednesday, high again, 59. Then we have another chance for some showers later Thursday, highs back into the mid to upper 50s. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Matt Rindy on New York's weather station, 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
58 degrees, raining in Midtown, the humidity 84%, winds out of the south 14 miles per hour. And repeating the present temperature, it's 58. Broadway stars to the rescue. That's next on 1010 winds at 92.3 FM.
You made a mistake driving drunk, and you've been pulled over, charged with DWI in New York, and now you're faced with a court date. You have rights. Before you go to court, consult Isaac Abraham Traffic and Criminal Attorney. Call now, 718-520-7900. DWI is a serious offense. You have rights. Call Isaac Abraham Traffic and Criminal Attorney now, 718-520-7900. Don't risk losing your license or going to jail over a DWI charge. You made a mistake driving drunk, and you have been pulled over, charged with DWI in New York, and now you're faced with a court date. Isaac Abraham Traffic and Criminal Attorney offers a free consultation to discuss your criminal traffic matter. Call now, 718-520-7900. That's 718-520-7900. Do not let a mistake reshape your ability to drive. Attorney advertising.
For 24 years, Plaza Jewish Community Chapel has been here for families across Metro New York, 24 hours a day. We're rooted in Jewish values, providing sacred service with transparency. From pre-planning services to bereavement support groups, Plaza is here to guide you. Visit plazajewish.org or call 212-769-4400 to plan ahead. Plaza Jewish Community Chapel, serving our community with heart and tradition for 24 years.
It's a new year, and for millions of New Yorkers, that means more money in your pocket. For the second year in a row, the minimum wage in New York State has gone up.
Both this year and next, the minimum wage is increasing 50 cents per hour. That's an additional $2,000 to spend on all the things you need. In 2027, the minimum wage will be tied to inflation, which means increases will match costs. New York's new minimum wage, putting money directly into the pockets of New Yorkers who need it most. Go to ny.gov/affordability. Sponsored by the New York State Department of Labor.
Although it was canceled at the Kennedy Center, the show must still go on. For Finn, the musical, that is, after its national tour was nixed, the announcement coincided with the arrival of the venue's President Trump-led tenure. The Kennedy Center said the cancellation of the tour was purely financial decision, even though it opened to good reviews. Finn is a children's musical about a young shark who, in the words of the show's creators, wants to let out his inner fish. Well, Broadway stars, including Andrew Rannells, Andrea Martin, Kelly O'Hara, Bonnie Milligan, and Jesse Mueller, will perform at the New York Town Hall today. The production is being presented by stars in the House creators Seth Rudinsky and James Wesley Jackson. It's Rudinsky speaking to 1010 Wins.
Why not just always have art? Why ever cancel art? So I just love the fact that we're providing art not just for this, small theater, it's only 1,500 seats in New York, but around the world for people to just be in a good mood and release serotonin, and start conversations.
Proceeds from the night will go to the Project. Wins News Time, 156 Bloomberg Money Watch.
Restaurant chains are celebrating with all sorts of specials this St. Patrick's Day. You could get free onion rings of any size at a Burger King. Dairy Queen has a mint Oreo Blizzard treat. Panera Bread Bowls are green. And Krispy Kreme offering a whole collection of St. Patrick's Day sweets, including a pot of gold donut. Swedish buy now, pay later company Klarna will soon be asking you to buy its stock. It's filing for its U.S. IPO and wants to list on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol KLAR. The company now has 85 million customers around the world, 600,000 retail partners. And upgrades to Apple's Siri personal assistant are now not expected until next year at the earliest. The person overseeing the project says the delay is, quote, ugly and embarrassing, and told those attending at an all-hands meeting that promoting the technology before it was ready made things worse. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Denise Pellegrini for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Silver Star Mercedes-Benz is bursting at the seams. Our temporary location is, well, temporary, and we're making way for our brand new showroom, so you can get the biggest savings in Silver Star history. We're talking deals you won't believe, because we simply have no more room. The Silver Star Mercedes-Benz construction sale ends soon, so don't miss your chance to drive away in your dream Mercedes. Visit silverstarny.com or stop by 3501 Northern Boulevard today. Silver Star Mercedes-Benz. Make room for savings.
My name is William Yank. I'm a 23-year-old, three-time leukemia survivor. Leukemia with this homeless society was an unforeseen blessing because I wouldn't have been able to get CAR T cell therapy. Ways that I advocate for cancer is probably mostly through my podcast and my Instagram or TikTok. It's so vitally important.
Oh, hello, 21SC. I hope you're doing well, my friend.
To give or get help, visit LLS.org. Attention homeowners in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Have you looked at your insurance policy lately? I'm Paul Zaris from East Coast Motor Club, the company that brought you affordable rates for your car insurance. Call me now at 718-863-2525 for our amazing rates on homeowners insurance. That's right, East Coast Motor Club also specializes in homeowners insurance. If your company is dropping you for a claim or your location, no problem. Visit eastcoastmotorclub.com or call us at 718-863-2525 for a complete review of your homeowner's policy. Your home is the most important purchase you will ever make. Don't take any chances. For more than 40 years, East Coast Motor Club has insured thousands of satisfied customers. So what are you waiting for? Take advantage of our amazing rates and our fantastic customer service. Call 718-863-2525. That's 718-863-2525. Or visit eastcoastmotorclub.com.
WINS FM in HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Cloudy, windy with rain early this morning. More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation.
Oh, that's right, yeah, St. Patrick's Day.
And Walter Geis is at the editor's desk.
So good morning from South Carolina. Looking for a pot of gold. Yeah, we all are looking for that pot of gold. Happy St. Patrick's, my friend. Top of the morning to ya.
New York.
Good morning, 58 degrees at 2 o'clock on this Monday, March 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day. I'm Mitch Levy, and here's what's happening. Brace yourself, heavy rain's approaching. Weather has killed at least 36 people across the country this weekend. We'll check in with AccuWeather in just a moment. The Trump administration plans to continue its efforts to detain and deport those who appear to support Hamas, a policy echoed on TV Sunday by Secretary of State Rubio. St. John's will play its first-round NCAA game against the University of Nebraska-Omaha in Providence on Thursday. President Trump says he will talk with Russian President Putin on Tuesday, and a ceasefire deal could be in place soon. 2 astronauts stranded on the International Space Station for months expect to finally get a ride home this week.
Wow, that's great.
In sports, the Nets and Isles win while the Rangers lose. AccuWeather says cloudy and windy overnight, some rain heavy at times, and the low will be about 55. Later today, though, rain and drizzle will continue through the morning on into the afternoon before slowly ending from west to east, but it could linger later on Long Island. The high will be around 57. Quince News Time 2:01. It's traffic and transit time from Jeff Jensen.
And Mitch, multiple lanes blocked in Queens here on the westbound side of the LIE by Grand Avenue. That is about a mile past exit 19. You definitely want to exit at 19. You can use the outer roadway as a service road and get around the accident, which is blocking multiple lanes on the Long Island Expressway. That's westbound at Grand Avenue. The Grand Central is moving well. No issues on the Van Wyck. There's no construction this morning. Couple of issues in New Jersey. Let's see, is it more than a couple? Well, it's definitely 2. A broken down vehicle on the Parkway northbound. North of exit 131A, that's Wood Avenue. You've got the left lane blocked there. And there's a crash just moved off to the shoulder in the car lanes, the inner roadway northbound, right before you get to interchange 12 in Carteret. It's on the right shoulder at this point. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Pretty quiet both ways at the GWB, both levels wide open, same for the Verrazano. And no troubles either way at the Lincoln Tunnel, 5 to 10 minute ride each way there. Holland Tunnel, 1 lane open and everything closed the other way around until 5:30. And here's what we see on Long Island's Big 3. Well, it's wet everywhere, but no accidents were done on the Southern State. Had a crash there by exit 20 this Saturday. The Northern State and the LIE are doing okay. I'm Jeff Jensen. Our next report, 211. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Well, there's a big change in our weather with heavy rains heading our way overnight. So let's get the latest now from AccuWeather meteorologist Matt Rindy.
The latest storm to impact the area will be bringing some rain and thunderstorms here through the early morning hours, which could cause some flash flooding and some damaging winds. Then later today, that will slowly taper off to rain and drizzle, and that continues into the early afternoon before things finally wind down. Could last a little bit longer on Long Island, and then we're looking at dry and nice weather for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thank God.
So stay with 1010 winds at 92.3 FM.
I have our yard ready for spring, and it keeps raining on my parade.
Some AccuWeather throughout the night and right on.
All right, moving on.
WBZ traffic on the 3. Here's the 4-day WBZ AccuWeather forecast.
In the early morning hours, we will have periods of rain, some of which will be heavy, and the thunderstorms continuing through the day as well. Heavier rain can lead to flooding, especially on streets and in port drainage areas. We'll have a low this morning around 55. Today's high will be close to 50.
WBZ from Boston.
Into Monday night, we'll have a couple of showers, mainly early, otherwise clouds breaking late with a low down to 40. Then we'll have plenty of sunshine on Tuesday. A nice afternoon, highs of 50 to 55. A mixture of clouds and sun on Wednesday. High 46 in Boston, low 50s inland. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Matt Rindy, WBZ Boston News Radio.
Good morning, I'm Dan Watkins. Here's what's happening. Let's see it.
Auburn, but they're not.
Movies open in wide release in North American theaters. Packets are in, with North Carolina barely getting in.
Hello, second view for the conference stage, second 90 degrees. I still got your work. It's afternoon.
My name is Scott Crawford.
You know when you go to a burger place,
WBT out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
tacos, just assume they have guacamole. What if it turned out they needed a different license, just to add the guac? For years, we've been installing air conditioners and furnaces and water heaters in homes just like yours. We're doing specialty electric work ourselves. It's part of our license. If someone wanted to leave out with you,
Yeah, that's Is that Bloomberg bleeding in? Yeah, Bloomberg. Wow, Bloomberg is really bleeding in.
Who've raised concerns about volatility.
So WBBR here in New York City, Bloomberg.
The uncertainty and the risk to the central scenario is very significant. I would say this is precisely the current situation with the risks to the central scenario in both directions are larger than normally.
Escrito's warning comes as Bloomberg's latest survey of economists sees the ECB cutting interest rates twice more this year. Economists see the benchmark rate now staying at 2% until the end of the year, but markets are wavering. They now see 1 or 2 cuts, including a possible pause in April. The shift follows plans by European governments to significantly boost investment in defence.
The UK government will abolish more business regulators and scale back welfare spending in an effort to drive economic growth. Bloomberg has learned that the Chancellor Rachel Reeves will discuss her plans to slash regulatory costs for businesses by a quarter at a meeting with 8 of the UK's main regulators today. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, the Work and Pensions Secretary Liz Kendall is expected to unveil plans to cut the welfare bill by up to £6 billion to encourage more people to work. That's despite Reeves dropping plans to freeze a key disability benefit after pushback from cabinet ministers.
SpaceX's Dragon capsule successfully docked at the European Space Station early on Sunday morning. The vessel was carrying a new crew, allowing marooned astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams to return home after around 10 months. One member of arriving Crew 10 said the journey ran smoothly.
Crew 10 has had a great journey up here, about 28 hours to get back up to the space station, and I cannot tell you the immense joy of our crew when we looked out the window and we saw the space station.
A Crew 10 member speaking there. The 2 stranded astronauts will board a capsule already docked at the International Space Station and head back to Earth after a roughly 2-day handover period with Crew 10.
Those are top stories now on the markets. The S&P 500 evening futures this morning are down by 0.5%, along with Nasdaq futures dropping 0.6%. Friday, they did see the S&P 500 up 2%, the best session for equities since President Trump won election. Asian equities also rallying. The Nikkei 225 up by 1.2%. Chinese indices
Gotta go through the pain.
for mainland shares. The CSI 300
Full prosperity, baby.
1% ahead of this press conference.
I don't mind the stocks go down a little bit. It's cheaper to buy them.
Leadership to talk more
buy them on the
about
dip.
plans to revive consumption in China. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index.
There's always corrections in the stock market, but you know, of course, doom and gloom media wants to say otherwise.
Rising though amid growing Red Sea risks. WTI crude futures up 0.6%.
Buy them where they're cheap.
And a big week for central bank decisions, including, of course, the Fed, the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan.
Long-term investments.
In a moment, we'll bring you more on tomorrow's planned conversation between the Russian and US presidents. Plus a look at how many international companies are holding firm on their diversity commitments despite backlash from the White House. But another story that caught our eye this morning, it is St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, as I'm morally obliged as an Irish person to wish everyone that I meet today. But we have a great piece from our Dublin Bureau Chief on
Top of the morning to you.
This morning, looking at
Happy St.
how
Patty's
the
Day.
diplomatic offensive that Ireland goes on at this time of the year, sending their ministers all over the world to take part in St. Patrick's Day celebrations, takes on extra significance this year. There's a number of ministers who travelled to the United States. We know he had the Taoiseach meeting Donald Trump at the White House last week. But this is as they're looking very nervously at the huge amount of American companies who have big investments in Ireland. Actually, per capita, Ireland has the massive trade relationship with the United States as well, the biggest per capita goods exporter to the US.
Didn't get it from me. And also while you're there, sign up for our free Coast Zone e-newsletter to receive exclusive daily articles at thecoasttocoastam.com.
During tax season, your sensitive info does the
WPHT out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Stopping off at payroll, your accountant or tax preparer, and other countless data centers on its way to the IRS. Any of them can expose you to identity theft because they all have the info on your W-2. Just the ticket for criminals to steal your identity. No wonder the IRS reported tax fraud due to identity theft went up 20% last year. You need LifeLock. They monitor millions of data points per second and alert you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's neurospace restoration specialist will fix it. Backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, and restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Get LifeLock protection for tax season and beyond. Join now, save up to 40% your first year with promo code George. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com. Use promo code George for 40% off. Terms apply.
I had the worst dream last night. We were in a car crash. Chris and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because they couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful,
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
All right. I want to get hit with the copyright police.
Acaba de sacar la tarjeta amarilla y va a encararse con el asistente, efectivamente. Es, en este caso, el árbitro asistente número 2, Jesús Lorenzo Soto Dávila, a Cazadón de Malagón.
That's Radio Wado, WADO, out of New York City. Radio Wado.
La pelota ya había salido, si no es penal. No, ya está como de milagro, no le sacan tarjeta roja, porque a ver, está fuera del terreno de juego, podría caber la tarjeta. Acá viene el centro del Toluca, cabezazo en defensa de Ramón Juárez. El rebote le quedó a la América, que viene con la contra, no, la va a recuperar ya Barbosa, que se apoya atrás con Paul López, que tiene la pelota, ya sale jugando con Franco Romero. Acá viene el Toluca. Ya lo único que puede poner bueno el juego es un gol del Diablo. Y no.
Porque Liga MX.
Para nada. Y justo eso te iba a decir.
Liga
en
MX.
Tanto de disparo, perdón, de Romero. A ver, sí, es un gran tiro, estuvo cerca de hacer gol, pero creo que se produce no a partir de que se tenga confianza Romero, sino que es desesperación por terminar la jugada.
¡Adelante!
Muy bueno, sí, muy lejos. Sí, totalmente. Acá viene el Toluca con Marcel Ruiz.
Toluca, that's Liga MX.
Gallardo en el centro.
Mexican Soccer.
De Kevin Álvarez. La pelota se va
Mexican Soccer League.
Tiro de esquina
Liga
para el
MX.
Toluca de Mohamed, que trabaja bien la pelota detenida. Y que ligeramente se envalentó un poco más a partir del segundo gol de las Águilas del América. Vino esta que se marcó falta previa y que no terminó por progresar más para el América, y a partir de ahí se envalentonó un poquito más el Toluca, que ha mejorado en los últimos minutos. Ángulo con el centro, arriba el cabezazo en defensa de Ramón Juárez, complementó Brian Rodríguez, el rebote le quedó a Barbosa, Diego, que tiene la pelota en círculo central para el Toluca. Jugó ahora con Alexis Vega, Vega jugó por la izquierda, acá maneja la pelota Angulo, evolución para Alexis Vega. Vega levanta la cabeza, se apoya en cortito. Acá tiene la pelota el conjunto del Toluca, buscando con quién. Ya juegan con Barbosa. Se dieron para Juan Pablo Domínguez. 3 cuartos de campo por la derecha. Evolución atrás para Diego Barbosa, que juega ahora con Bruno Méndez. Juega ahora ya Federico Pereira. Círculo central, levanta la cabeza. Busca con quién. Franco Romero. Agatas con Bruno Méndez. Pasó para Barbosa. Evolución para Bruno Méndez. Aparece Federico Pereira. Juegan atrás con Paulo López.
¡Adelante!
Juega ahora con Bruno Méndez, pelota central. A las afueras del...
A local station, Korean, what is it? I forget that. Anyway. Anyway. No big deal.
Hang out with Father and I. The number's 888-914-9149 to get
Is it Relevant Radio?
Thinking about the garden, I mean, did it really exist?
Is it Relevant Radio?
Physical place? Or is it more of a spiritual reality?
Yeah.
Unless and until a person's
WFED out of Washington, D.C.
That makes sense. If I could get fired for not replying to emails, I would have been fired a long time ago.
And that's what I would say is, the general subject matter that I think we're talking about is, in the disciplinary realm, the two types of crimes that are triggered here for me are failure to follow instructions, which is a type of misconduct, and also the concept of resignation. The case law around both of those concepts don't really lend themselves to the conclusion that not responding to the hr@opm.gov email account is something that will lead to a resignation or to discipline without there being something more from your agency. So unless you're getting a directive through your own agency leadership, that's really not an established avenue for that resulting in someone losing their employment or being disciplined.
On that note, relates to your response you just had, there's a lot of questions about some of the guidance that's coming out or some of the executive actions that are taken if those will be overturned. We've already seen kind of a flurry of legal actions taken on top of those executive actions. What do you think the next few months will look like as those legal issues play out, and do you have any, guidance for how we navigate all of that? Because my guess is it will be a long process over the next few months figuring out where the end state and what the final rule is on some of this stuff.
I couldn't agree more. It really is a wait and see aspect to this. There's a lot of volatility right now in terms of how challenges are unfolding. For example, the aspects of the DEI-related executive orders have been stayed. For example, some of the terminations, some of the high-level agency head terminations are being challenged and have been stayed. Those litigations are unfolding right now. Those are just two examples off the cuff. I'll give you another example. There's obviously the injunction around putting USAID employees on admin leave and basically just trying to informally shut down the agency, and also on the freezing of funding and things like that. These are just examples where there have been some successful court challenges, and, in other instances, things were not successful. For example, a challenge to the use of the government-wide email system was not successful. And, obviously there's other examples. There's a lot of volatility. A lot of what's happening is totally unprecedented. And so there's a lot of wait and see.
All right. WWKB out of Buffalo, New York.
North Carolina does not belong in this tournament. They don't. They don't. And I don't want to hear, what does it matter anyway if you're going to lose, really? Because how many times have we seen a team that has to play in the first four, make a run all the way to the final four? A couple of years ago, UCLA, look at North Carolina State. If they didn't win the ACC championship, there was no shot of that. They were getting in, so they were one of the lowest ranked teams. Other than the fact that they got hot at the last week of the year and won the conference tournament, and they went all the way to the Final Four. So don't tell me it can't happen. And I also, because I can see Bubba Cunningham and the selection committee who basically spit in our faces of actual college basketball fans, get the face of justice and what is right. I could see a world, I could see a reality where North Carolina makes a run to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight, and then you have teams.
All right. KXCO out of Waterloo, Iowa. I always get KXCL out of Waterloo, Iowa. I can never get ZNS out of the Bahamas. I've been trying for years. Maybe if I build a mini beverage antenna, a directional type. Maybe what they call a loop. It's a directional loop. Forgot the name of it. And that's going to be one of my projects in the future. Because I always get KXCL, but I can never get. I mean, geographically, it's almost. Actually, it's closer to get ZNS than it is Waterloo, Iowa, from Yonkers, New York. What is it about? Almost 1,000. It's like 1,000 kilometers. What is it? 800, almost 900 miles. But I can never get ZNS from the Bahamas. Which I have listened to on the app. It is a good channel. It's a nice channel to listen to. Of course, I used to hear I was hearing the coverage when Hurricane Dorian hit the Bahamas. And it was, nonstop. And I was glued to the app listening to ZNS out of the Bahamas. That's KXCL out of Waterloo, Iowa. Not coming in as strong as he usually comes in. Although the MLA30 is pointing north to south, not east to west. Yeah, Radar Radio is on KXCL right now. Radar Radio. Brother Stare comes on too on KXCL. I heard Brother Stare on it quite a few times. So, Brother Stare's everywhere. All right, let's move on. This is CBEF out of Canada. I believe Windsor, Ontario. Of course, it's in French.
l'histoire de l'influence autochtone sur la culture occidentale, toutes plusieurs inspirées comment d'explorer la corrélation entre le surréalisme et l'impact cérémonial autochtone dans ce documentaire. J'ai une très bonne question, c'est en fait, je pourrais définir le Catherine Bridge sur le film des manières dans cette vidéo qui parle de l'influence autochtone sur l'histoire, sur la collective, sur le mode. À ce moment-là, c'était en 2018, et j'ai vu cette histoire sur le surréalisme, l'influence qui faisait partie de notre manière. Donc, en fait, pendant quelques mois, même un an, on était certain que cette histoire-là allait apparaître dans le film du journal. Et peu à peu, on commençait à voir que les choses c'était pas juste une histoire d'influence. Il y avait une histoire sur l'accès aux ressources culturelles, il y avait des histoires de restitution. Le plus qu'on savait, en fait, on a commencé à vraiment entendre des histoires hyper intéressantes qui ont été dites en France en propre film. Donc, nous et moi, on est partis à finir ce film-là. Donc, on a commencé ensemble en 2018, à peu près en recherche. On a commencé à tourner en 2019. Avec le Covid, on a commencé, mais là, on a fini.
All right. This is the Black Information Network. It's local here to New York City. The Black Information Network, of course. Yeah.
His criminal trial is expected to start up in May. He remains behind bars in New York.
Meantime, longtime black actor Paul Washington is returning to Broadway in the Shakespeare play Othello. And Washington's return to the stage is driving up the cost of tickets. According to BlackNews.com, Othello generated over $2.6 million just in its first week. That breaks records by powerful musicals like Wicked and Hamilton. You can see Denzel in action between now and June 8th. It's looking for a ticket. I'm Nicole Beal, along with Mike Moore, on your home for Black News First, the Black Information Network. Your Washington Roundup is next.
Senator John Cornyn is accusing the mainstream media of lying about the effectiveness of President Trump's plan to make the government more efficient. The Texas Republican used a force speech recently to cite several examples about Elon Musk. The House Committee is eliminating wasteful spending.
Those found funds for illegal immigrants using multiple Social Security numbers to submit Medicare claims.
He says that Washington is addicted to spending and it's time to go cold turkey. The French wine and spirits industry is reacting with alarm to President Trump's threat to slap a 200% tariff on European wine in response to the European Union's 50% tariff on U.S. whiskey. France says while it doesn't want a trade war, it will react firmly to the countermeasure measures it seems arbitrary and against international law.
Hey, some Spanish in the background. I wonder what station is that? This is a CHHA out of Toronto, Ontario. CHHA. And of course, the ethnic station, they play Spanish music overnight. All right, 1620. I was hoping to get Radio Progreso out of Cuba. I probably got it twice in my lifetime here. I hear something. Yeah, that is definitely not Cuba. Okay, moving on.
With a vehicle breakdown, choose the company iTruck. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection claims for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making a claim to paying certified mechanic with one full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
I hear every day about the product you always buy military. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bedclothes, comforters, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, here are best-selling standard My Pillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. A 6-piece bath towel and kitchen towel set kit, $29.98. Multi-use My Pillow 2.0 for pillowcases, $9.98. Save $40 on our spring for killing decent green bed sheet set. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com and use your promo code to save up to 80% on all My Pillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get discounted on My Pillow. Absolutely free. With the people of twin, mypillow.com, promo code Godzilla.
Is that Tupelo, Mississippi? Mississippi. Might be. I heard Tupelo. I'll look it up afterwards. And of course I heard My Pillow guys, so that means I gotta be conservative station. On 1650. And of course I hear music in the background, so who knows what that is. I have to play it a few times on the replay. That might be a first for me. Mambo. Love Meeting Wave DXing is the best. Meeting Wave DXing is the greatest. That song, I don't know. If that gets a copyright, man, the algorithm is good. Of course, it's a local station. Although I wish I could get WGIT out of Puerto Rico, out of Canaveras, Puerto Rico, that would be nice. When I was in Florida, I did pick up WGIT. It's a religious station in Puerto Rico. But of course, up here, we do have a local 1660. And also in Virginia, I believe 1660 was when I went down there, it was the Air Space Museum in Chantilly, Virginia. I believe 1660 was their local informational channel. When you get up here at this point, there's not that many commercial medium wave stations. It's usually a lot of state-run, like highway advisory stations, or no relay station, or airport information, or in my case, when I went to Virginia, it was the museum, the Air and Space Museum in Chantilly, Virginia. I believe it was on 1660. So when you get up here, you might hear a few utility stations. But of course, not this one. And I believe this is a Korean. It's a Korean station, ethnic station. Of course, 1670, when I was in Florida, it was Casino Radio out of, was it Mississippi? Or Alabama? I forgot what it was. Anyway, it's a Casino Radio. I wish I can pick that up here, Casino Radio. I actually like that station. 1670, I don't know what this might be from Iowa, I believe. Is it WCJJ or something like that? I forgot. All right. Anyway, 1680. 1690 is WPTX out of Lexington, Maryland. And I'll probably get hit with a copyright on this one, because they do play oldie station, 80s stuff, contemporary area stuff. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get hit with a copyright now. All right, yeah. I'm started. No, okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. Forget about that. This is WRCR, Ramapo, New York, not far from here.
Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. Together, we can reach the on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New York Army National Guard, shared by the New York State Broadcasting Association and this station. Your weather forecast for today is a.m. It'll be mostly cloudy with a steady temperature around 50 degrees. For tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 35. For tomorrow, next Tuesday, sunshine around 60. Tuesday night, mostly clear with a low around 42, and then for Wednesday, mostly sunny clouds with a value of 64. The rain returns on Thursday, 40% chance. And that's your forecast. I'm Jeff Lewis.
Oh boy, no music. And then 1710. I haven't heard WQFG 689, is it? From Jersey City? In a while. So right now, pretty much nothing going on there. Okay, and back to the bottom of the dial. Let me see if I can hear Radio Encyclopedia or CAIO out of Brampton, Ontario. Yeah, I can't make out much right now. It's yeah, not good today.
Other options, and you think that the lung
Uncle, this is WMCA out of New York City.
Or you go see Dr. Lederman, the first doctor in the Western Hemisphere to perform radiosurgery right here in New York, who takes most insurances, Medicare, Medicaid, right at 1384 Broadway. He's convenient and easy and accessible and takes your insurance. And with Dr. Lederman, there's no cutting or bleeding, no anesthesia. Do you think that the lung surgeons tell their patients that? I'd be eager to hear what you think. My name's Dr. Lederman. This patient, by the way, came here because a radio listener like you sent her here. And radio listeners are really important. Radio listeners help people get the best care. My name's Dr. Lederman, 1384 Broadway, Broadway and 38th Street, in the heart of New York City.
Radio listeners are the smartest people ever.
And I want to talk about a man who came to us almost 10 years ago with prostate cancer. He was from Jamaica.
AM radio listeners.
3 children. He had a high PSA. He had a biopsy showing Gleason 7 cancer. The surgeon told him he wants to do surgery right away. He has to have surgery right away. Well, he came here because he didn't quite
Unlike
trust the
FM,
surgeon.
feeble-minded.
The surgeon was up to something. I examined the patient. He had enlarged prostate. He had a stage T1C, Gleason 7 prostate cancer. PSA was 5.1, and he came to us 10 years ago and was treated, and he's now cancer-free. He came to us even though his surgeon was pushing for surgery. The surgeon didn't tell him with surgery he'd be impotent. With surgery for the prostate, he'd be leaking urine most likely. And with surgery, success rate 60%. For Gleason 7 cancer with Dr. Lederman, it's 90%. The surgeon did not tell him any of those things. You can imagine why. He came here 10 years ago. He's been cancer-free. His PSA 0. He's doing great. He's happy. He's healthy. He's fully intact. And this is the work that we do every day at 1384 Broadway. Now, we'll talk about another man from Jamaica. This is a 62-year-old man. He's married with 2 children, came with his wife. He had prostate cancer. His PSA was 5.13. He had a...
All right, here we go. $5.90, I believe this is TSN out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Sports station TSN. And for those of you that don't know, TSN is the equivalent of ESPN in Canada. So Canada has their own version of ESPN. I don't know if ESPN owns them, but it's called TSN.
The love of Christ. And in this parable of the lost coin, he shows us how personalized the love of Christ is. Listen to me. You're not just the face in the crowd. You're not just the name on the roster for God. No. That may be the case in an earthly church, but not with God. He carries you.
Okay, something else. Yeah, that is not definitely TSN. Wow. Okay, that here's some religion. All right, you have to look that up. Wow.
Now, beloved, God's love is not just a word. How people always use words so that often they don't really mean them. You see, God's love is not a theory. It's not just an experiment. God's love is not just an emotional feeling towards you, but it's some more.
I'm going to let it play for a bit because I want to get an ID on this if I can. But this might be a first one for me. Yeah, I never heard of this without religion till $5.90. Wow. right. Anyway, I'll come back to it. Because I don't reckon I know that's not the format for. So it might be a new station. I'm going to go to a couple of them, then I'm going to go up to the, let me see.
Thank God for that. The best thing to do when you're suffering is just praise God. It ends it more quickly. I found that out to be true. You just start praising Him and thanking Him. Fight that fight of faith. Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will.
I don't know, this is Brother Stair. I think it's Brother Stair.
With God's will.
Overcoming Ministry.
Commit the keeping of their souls to Him in well-doing, as unto a faithful Creator. Let Jesus talk to you through these scriptures now. It's not me. Let Jesus talk to you as we read these scriptures, and you listen to what He's saying to us. Chapter 5, verse 10 of Peter, but the God of all grace, who hath called us unto His eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. How do you know the door didn't shut for one of you while you were sick? And because you were finally humbled, couldn't open your big mouth, fight with anybody. You were so sick you couldn't despise the man of God over you. And maybe God shut the door at that time. Don't kid yourself. God's going to save His people. And when you suffer in the flesh, you cease from sin. Only tried, established saints are going to get in the tribulation. Now, this is the most important time right now for you. If you're really a serious Christian, this is the most important time for you. It's not later on, it's right now. It's until you get through this day, and until the next day, and until you get in the tribulation. Then there's another whole set of untils. But you better get in that door to the tribulation. And they that were ready went in with Him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Now, what I'd like to focus on is that.
All right. I could hear little Cuba in there. Barely, I could hear little Cuba. Anyway, so let's, you know what, we're going to jump the bands. All right, let me do manual. Actually, let me go to, oh, Jesus, sorry. Switch bands. Let's scan the shortwave band. See what
something that holds in half a palm of his hand and makes quality recordings. After these recorders, some Phillips Juniors appeared that were the size of a slightly larger Diplomat's. You've been listening to Radio Romania International Encyclopedia.
Radio Romania.
Coming up next on Radio Romania International, Visits Romania. Hello dear friends, and welcome to another travel feature with me, Daniel Voice. Being located at an altitude of 1,500 meters, the mountain resort of Runka in Gorj County is still offering good conditions for practicing winter sports in even in spring. The result of Lanka has also been acknowledged by the Club of Travel Press Fijet Romania, a professional association of journalists working in various fields, such as radio, television,
I'll leave it at 6. 6 is good.
In a 2025 Fijet ranking of travel destinations, Lanka came fourth. Lanka can be reached via the Novac commune after a 20-kilometer drive on a motorway winding through the mountains right up to the Parunk Plateau. Its 7-kilometer ski tracks are mainly preferred by beginners, but there are also some parts destined for more experienced skiers. The tracks are fitted with 2 ski lifts and 3 chairlifts. Nikolai Troyu is an entrepreneur with a significant contribution in the field of tourism and development of the ski resort of Rinka. We are still having snow here in Rinka, and half of our ski slopes are still operational. The snow layer is still thick because we had a lot of snow and we also used our snow cannons. And it's very interesting at this time of the year when winter and spring are together in the same place. I have even seen people in shorts and t-shirts. We can say that springtime has come, but we still have plenty of snow. We are usually skiing here until Easter in April. The highest ski slope is at the foot of the Papusha mountain, and tourists are carried here by the chairlifts. The plateau also offers a series of breathtaking views of the resort and the Parunk mountains. Besides accommodation and the excellent conditions for practicing winter sports, Rinka is also renowned for its traditional cuisine specific to an area with an outstanding shepherding tradition.
So now. As the furnace firing up. So I'm in the boiler room, so pretty warm in here. All right, let's see where we're going. There you go, WWV on 10 megahertz.
Verse 5, according to the word that I
covenant with you when you came out of Egypt.
By the way, I'll put the link to the radio in the description at the end of the live stream. If anybody wants to buy this radio, this is the TEF6686 radio, long wave, medium wave, short wave, FM, RDS, no single sideband. You can get this radio for about, I know I'm not expecting to get it for, I paid about under $60 for it. It's a great radio, especially on the FM band. Great FM DX radio. Anyway, I'll put the link at the end of the... Awesome radio.
Verse 9, the glory of the latter house shall be greater than the former. And we know that that's going to be greater tribulation. We know it's going to be greater unity, greater love. We heard about tonight, greater submission. That will be the greatest submission ever. Greater miracles. That will be greater healing. It's going to be greater suffering. It's going to be greater deliverance. Every aspect of the Lord Jesus Christ will be in it. It will all be greater. Whether it be a perfected work, it will also be worldwide. Every other time of persecution, the multiplication of physical.
All right, moving on.
Déjà en bonne place sur la liste des menaces à la sécurité nationale. Finalement, mon cher Godouané Lambda, le seul moment où ta vie quotidienne coïncide avec l'agenda dans la lutte contre le dérèglement climatique, c'est quand brusquement, inexplicablement, ta tête chauffe, tu transpires abondamment, le matin, à midi, la nuit, à la maison, dans ta voiture, au travail, partout. Ce n'est pas le réchauffement climatique, c'est ton compte en banque qui a fondu comme du beurre sur le feu dès le début du mois, sous le souffle chaud des prix de la viande, du riz, de l'huile, du sucre, de la farine, qui ne font que monter tous les jours. Morale de l'histoire, quand ça chauffe, ce n'est pas forcément le réchauffement climatique, même si ça y contribue grandement. Ah bon? Merci maman, et à demain pour de nouvelles infos venues du Gondwana. Merci à vous. Restez à l'écoute d'Azachid dans 2 minutes, un petit peu moins, mais gentil. 8 milliards de voisins. Secretary General Rutte that the U.S. needs to annex Greenland for international security. President Trump assures Putin won't attack once the Ukraine ceasefire deal is reached. Secretary General
General Rutte credits President Trump with breaking the deadlock in peace talks with Ukraine. Secretary General Rutte acknowledges President Trump's role in increasing European defense spending by $700 billion by pushing for it in his first term and now, and mentions new European commitments of $800 billion in additional defense spending.
A major paradigm shift is needed.
UN Forum calls for development reforms in poorer countries, urging partnerships with global banks and businesses due to major funding shortages.
This beautiful island of 5 million people has got the entire U.S. pharmaceutical industry.
President Trump says Ireland takes advantage of the U.S. through tax policies that cause many American pharmaceutical companies to leave the U.S. During meeting with Ireland's Taoiseach and Prime Minister Micheál Martin, joining him at the White House to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
President Trump rose Liberal talk show host Rosie O'Donnell after she flees to Ireland, telling Ireland's Taoiseach or Prime Minister.
Do you know who she is? Do you know who she is? You better not know it.
U.S. Biden's pardons for his family face new controversy after it's discovered he didn't actually sign them.
Take a look at each. Signs by AutoPen.
It was done by AutoPen machine, challenging their legal validity.
U.S. huge insurance scam uncovered by the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, revealing $135 billion stolen from unemployment programs during COVID lockdown.
So yesterday, we launched, or this week, a bill to get the money back.
DOGE Congressional Caucus co-founder Representative Aaron Bean, Republican Florida, warns the thieves that President Trump and Republicans in Congress are determined to get the money back.
Kathmandu, Nepal. Thousands celebrate holy religious festival with vibrant colors, music, and dance, honoring the arrival of spring and the divine love of Lord Krishna, vegetarian, and Lady Radha, vegetarian.
Europe faces first measles outbreak in 25 years. World Health Organization says common symptoms include high fever, sore, red, and watery eyes, coughing, and sneezing. Experts warn measles can lead to pneumonia, brain swelling, and death, especially in the unvaccinated.
Measles is very contagious. It's one of the most contagious respiratory viruses in the U.S. Measles is more contagious than COVID, expert warns, and biting hygiene and masks amid unusual surge in cases.
Study finds eating more ultra-processed food, such as bacon or sausage, is tied to a higher risk of death from heart disease, high blood pressure, stroke, aneurysm, and related circulatory conditions, as well as digestive issues and Parkinson's disease.
Kenya. Mobile dialysis unit brings life-saving treatment closer to rural areas, led by healthcare organization Venacare.
Century, none of the Bible writers or apostles or apostolic Christians believed in the triune Godhead. Now, I don't want to get off too far on that one. I just want to offer a few avenues of research to any of our first-time listeners who actually still believe in a Trinity. Do your own research, folks. I think you'll be surprised by what you find. Absolutely, and we've got articles, videos, radio programs on our website that cover this topic in depth. You can see why Satan has wanted to promote a triune Godhead. It puts the Saviour so far above us that despite the many scripture passages that puts him on a level with us, we have a hard time relating to him. How can you relate to someone who is both God and man? But once you know that Yahushua is fully human and not at all divine, begotten at conception, just as Scripture says, he's much more relatable. And there's a lot we can learn from his relationship with his Father. It's true, and knowing he was fully human and yet still enjoyed such a close relationship with Yahweh means that we can too. We've been saying we are sons, we're daughters of Yahweh. So let's flip it around now. If we are sons and daughters, that means, in a very
Finney says if you're truly converted, you can pass this test in 2 Corinthians chapter 7. He said if you can pass this, it's an evidence of genuine conversion and true repentance. You know, Brother Dave's always saying you got to get converted. He says to a lot of people, you got to get converted. For behold, this self-same thing that ye sought after a godly source, what carefulness, Robert, become very careful. Prophet saw, careful. Yea, with clearing of his trip. He's looking at the prophet all the time, he needs clearing. He's not clear with a lot of people. The Bible says with many, he is not well pleased. It never says he's clear with many. He's clear with Caleb. Clear with Joshua. With many, he is not well pleased. Yea, with clearing of it. Yea, with indignation. Yea, with fear. With vehement desire. Yea, with zeal. Yea, with revenge. That's what you take on evil things. Try to enter you with that. In all things you reprove yourself to be clear in this matter. Clearness with God will allow you to be killed in a submitted fashion in the tribulation. It will allow you to be a wise virgin and enter in. Clearness. There's really nothing on this earth that interests you. You shouldn't be sorry for the stuff. It wasn't worth a damn anyway. None of it. When you see your iniquity, what Finney said, as God sees it. He talks about iniquity a lot. Then you hate it. God's perfect hatred. Then you are converted. And you know what? You don't have to waste much time sweating over it, because what Brother Stair talked about that tonight, of understanding that you have been forgiven your sins, and that God is faithful, and there's just a clearance in it, and that your works mean nothing. And when you're rebuked, the Bible says you should, a wise man love rebuke. He loves to rebuke. God's good grace. You don't love rebuke and correction?
Toronto, Canada.
I can tell you, if you buy the box spinach, it's handcuffs. If you buy lemons, if you buy celery, if you buy ginger, if you buy that kind of broccoli, you will see it. So sit down, take a minute, figure out what exactly you want to do. And it doesn't have to be gourmet, it doesn't have to be fancy. It's about the experience of trying to add more vegetables and lighter foods into your diet. So you, the non-specific. When you have healthier food at hand, you will eat it. If you're not stocking your house, you will eat the cookies, the crackers, the things that are secretly in the trash, the ones that you're putting in your basket, you will not eat them. When you stock your house with the healthy items like your produce and your carrots and your peppers, and you go home and you quickly wash them in chocolate and put them in your refrigerator, guess what? You open your fridge and that's the first thing you see. When you see it, you will eat it. So starting to eat, change the way you think about your life.
causing, they will use on cancer. So it's wrong if you're eating produce and vegetables. And if you're stocking your freezers with, frozen mangoes, frozen pineapples, frozen berries, you can store it all in a blender. So it's about having the right chemicals on hand, and then you eat. And that's their burger. Like, there is nothing wrong with a steak burger. I love a burger. I'm never going to take those luxuries away because that's a part of enjoying it and living your life. But you can stock that burger with lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and you can add on healthier things to all the food.
One of the things that John and I do is we go bag of spinach and so on from, Costco or wherever you get it. Kale is particularly good as well, so that's awesome.
All right.
Your heart is the deep calling of the deep. If you're converted, you've got Jesus living in you. He's calling up. The Spirit of bride say, come. Jesus is calling to Jesus. Come. It'll just be in there, and you're not going to be able to stop it. Why would you want to? It just would overtake you. It's the only thing that you're living for or dying for. We know that we're in the time of salt. We know the time of salt. The Bible says, counsel to us. 2 Corinthians, are sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. Get the words to understand that. Are sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. Are poor, yet making many rich, and having nothing, yet possessing all. Jacob shall possess his possession, it says in the God. Esau. Matthew 25, the 10 verse.
Universal time.
Universal Time. Minutes.
CHU out of Canada.
THU Canada, temps universel coordonné. 7h21 minutes. 7 hours, 21 minutes. Universal Time, 7 hours, 22 minutes. 6 hours,
That's really
from 2 Peter chapter 1 and would like to hear it again in its entirety, you can listen to it on our website for free at www.ccphilly.org. Just go to our homepage and click on Teachings, then select Straight from the Heart and click on the study with today's date. Today's message number is WED 467. That's WED 467. You can also listen to today's teaching from 2 Peter chapter 1 or any other message from Genesis to Revelation by downloading our free app on your tablet or mobile device. Just go to your app store and search for CC Philly or go to our website and click the link for the mobile app. If you have any questions or comments about today's message, or maybe would like to let us know how the Lord has blessed you through Pastor Joe's teaching, we'd love to hear your feedback. Feel free to contact us by email at radio@ccphilly.org. That's radio@ccphilly.org. For more information on this broadcast or Calvary Chapel, Philadelphia, don't forget to visit our website at ccphilly.org. While you're visiting our website, make sure you check out our Daily Devotions page. By subscribing to Daily Devotions with Pastor Joe, you can receive a short, encouraging video message every weekday morning in your email. If you prefer not to use email, you can also find Daily Devotions with Pastor Joe on our free app or by subscribing to our Daily Devos podcast. Thanks for listening, and remember to join us next time as we continue with more great Bible teaching that comes straight from the heart.
family. This is Robert Baltadano, General Manager. I'm incredibly grateful for your unwavering support of the Bridge Christian Radio. Your support enables us to touch countless lives with the message of God's love. Now, we want people to come to the saving knowledge of Jesus. That's the whole reason why this station even exists, is to proclaim the truth of God's Word. Your financial gifts helps us expand our reach and bring hope to the brokenhearted. Will you partner with us today? Now, we've made it very easy for you to give. 3 simple ways. You can text the word gospel to 345-345, or you can call us right now, 732-588-0982. But if you prefer just to go on our website, safe and secure to give there, go to bridgeradio.org, click on the support tab, and you can give in that way as well. Thank you so much for your support of the Bridge Christian Radio.
Calvary Christian School, pre-K through 12 school, is home to interscholastic sports teams, an athletics program in the NJSIAA, and courses that are NCAA approved, making it possible for your child to be eligible for athletic scholarships. Calvary Christian School, educating the mind and discipling the heart. ccsnj.net, 732-479-0700.
Programming on the Bridge is supported by Pinnacle Plumbing and Heating. Pinnacle offers plumbing, drain cleaning, heating installation, and more. Pinnacle Plumbing and Heating, 732-818-0508. The Bridge thanks Pinnacle Plumbing and Heating for partnering with us in spreading the gospel.
Programming on the Bridge is sponsored by Selah, an oceanfront bed and breakfast in Ocean Grove, New Jersey. Christian owned and operated, Selah is open year-round, providing a place to rest and restore your soul. Online.
Mind you, that's the MLA 30.
Words fall through me and always.
Yeah, no music. All right, enough of that. All right, next. Let me load that down. Okay, next band. Oh, chewy. What the hell is this? Let me go all the way up to shoosh. Okay, I guess it's gonna be this one. I'm gonna go up this time. This time I'm gonna go up on shortwave. I had to lower the bandwidth. It was a little too wide. So let me see if we can pick up anything now. Sorry about that. And you guys, thank you for watching. Smash the like button and share this video. Thank you. All right, please. Sorry about that.
A person can be very sincere and yet sincerely wrong. If you would like to learn more about the customs and practices many sincere people believe they need to participate in, look for the radio program entitled The Messianic Jewish Lie. You can listen to it on our website at worldslastchance.com. Once again, that's The Messianic Jewish Lie. You can also find it on YouTube.
Alright, it's time for you to answer a question from our daily mailbag, okay? Today's question is coming from Dornbirn, Austria. I've been there. It's home the world's oldest zoo. Dornbirn? Well, no, Austria, though. Oh, okay. Vienna's Schönbrunn Tiergarten was founded in 1752, making it the oldest zoo in the world. Oh, interesting stuff. Actually, did you know that Austria's first Nobel laureate was a woman, Baroness Bertha von Stuttner? She won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1905. Interesting. I did not know that. Anyway, Ella writes, quote, been really struggling lately with depression. I know during the lockdowns a lot of people struggled with depression, but we're past that now, and yet we're still struggling. My family took a real financial hit during the lockdowns, and now, along with that, my mother's health is failing too. The rising energy prices, everything that's going on in Ukraine, it feels like things are just getting worse and worse. How can I strengthen my faith in the face of so much that's going wrong in the world and in my own life? Well, that is a very timely question. It's true. Things, life in general, it's getting more intense, and that can cause fear, uncertainty, and of course, along with it, stress. Yeah, speaking for myself, I think one of the hardest aspects to deal with is just the uncertainty. You know, things getting worse is becoming the new normal, but you don't know what's going to happen. Well, what we do know, let's just turn to John chapter 16, and can you read verses 32 and 33? This was the evening that Yahushua was betrayed. He knew it was coming, and he knew that things were going to get difficult for the disciples too. Let's read what he said. Indeed, the hour is coming. Yes, has now come, and you will be scattered, each to his own, and will leave me alone. And yet, I am not alone, because the Father was with me. These things I have spoken to you, that in me.
Positive energy flowing without internet connection. The NX Max button shows many screens of 40 quadrillion for super multiplied blessing. Please tell all you know, all others, so this can help the whole world to be saved. Print out a Supreme Master TV Max card to distribute wherever you go, for example, if it is safe for you.
That kind of concentrated, huge, incredible energy will bless your home, bless your environment, your village, your town, or your city. And if many people do that, we bless your country, bless the world. Then our world will have less disasters, less war, more happiness, more intelligence, and more abundant blessings in our lives. Just try it, and you'll see the miracles that will happen.
To utilize this tool free of charge, please visit suprememastertv.com/max or youtube.com/@folia999/street.
Bolivian firefighters continue to battle some of the worst wildfires the country has ever seen. Large portions of the territory have been engulfed by flames for several weeks now, and even with help from abroad, the fires are out of control.
Climate change vulnerability around the world. Part 4 of a multi-part series. Continue watching to find out more.
Devoted viewers, that means, how are you, in Pidgin, one of the official languages of the Solomon Islands. My name is Jeremiah. The compassionate people of the Solomon Islands wish that the divine shields your soul with love and light, guiding you away from negativity and toward morally virtuous choices.
Kind humans spent 4 days to help free whale person from the net.
And just like that, it's gone. What the hell? Well, thank you for that blessing. That was a nice blessing. Thank you.
It rented a large home. Now, two is another story, but it was the first night Sister there had sang her song.
I welcome all blessings.
It was because of Bibs. One that we sang so many times at that time.
So thank you.
Oh God, they become very real to us this hour. Because today we live where we are and what we're doing because He lives. We are what He has called us. We are going through what He has spoken. We go through what He has brought us through up to this point. Many of danger calls us. It was while we were in Trosted where the Lord spoke to me. I stood up before this attendance crowd, about within 1,000 in the Trosted. And I'm speaking, and the pastor was interpreting for me. Then again, God spoke to me and said,
At the time, 7 hours, 32 minutes, coordinated universal time.
Coordinated universal time.
At the time, 7 hours, 43 minutes, coordinated universal time.
Coordinated Universal Time.
At the show, 7 hours, 44 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
Estimated storage area index 10. The estimated planetary TEF 6686 UTC on March 17th is 3.33. Airborne thunderstorms have occurred for the past 24 hours. No space thunderstorms are predicted for the next 24 hours.
Here you go, bro. Smash the like button, thank you. And subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Love you all. Have a great week. Happy St. Patty's Day. Or happy St. Patrick's Day, excuse me. I don't want to say Patty. I don't want to be politically incorrect. But thank you. Thank you for watching. Love you all.
While the government has denied any wrongdoing, stating that no money was received, the controversy has raised concerns over the issuance of diplomatic passports. Venus, who was appointed in December of last year by former Foreign Affairs Minister Matthias Jeremiah, confirms that his diplomatic passport was issued on January 2nd, 2025, but has yet to be handed over to him. It says he remains committed to fostering a stronger trade and diplomatic ties between Vanuatu and Japan, particularly in securing financial aid for infrastructure development following the December earthquake. However, he admitted that the ongoing controversy has hindered his efforts and left him without clear communication from the government regarding his passport status. The allegations have also drawn attention to another individual by the name of Tayao, who was named in the leaked charge and has been confirmed as Vanuatu's Trade Commissioner to Malaysia. Both past and present foreign affairs ministers have dismissed claims that the money was exchanged for diplomatic passports. On immigration, the government has revoked the passports of 3 Chinese nationals. who fraudulently obtained one, reinforcing its stance against harboring criminals. The Department of Immigration and Passport Services confirmed that Wang Bo, Liang Hong, and Deng Yong acquired many passports that held false or misleading statements violating the Passport Act number 20 of 2009. Both Hong and Yang have been on Interpol Beijing's watch list since September of 2022 for organizing and leading pyramid selling activities. Recent concerns about gaps in the due diligence process. Authorities revealed that Hong and Yang were issued Vanuatu passports on June 28, 2022, and a formal request for their cancellation was made on March 12, 2025. Bo, who received his passport in April 2022, was stabbed earlier this year, and it was discovered that he had provided false information to obtain citizenship while under investigation for multiple offenses. The Department of Immigration took action under ministerial instructions aligning with Prime Minister's firm position that Vanuatu will not be a safe haven for criminals. In response to the scandal, the government has launched an investigation into agents facilitating citizenship applications for individuals with criminal backgrounds. Officials have warned that agents aiding fraudulent applications will have their licenses revoked, and any criminals who bypass due diligence checks will have their citizenship and passports cancelled. The government has also reiterated the distinction between the Citizenship Act, which grants citizenship, and the Passport Act, which governs the issuance of travel documents, emphasizing that holding citizenship does not automatically guarantee a passport. In MSG, since the head group MSG has marked 37 years of regional cooperation, reflecting on his journey from political advocacy to economic integration. Established in 1986, MSG has been
Yeah. Excuse me. Oh boy. I'll let it go all the way around. I don't care. Oh, here we go. Thank you for watching. Smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. You know me, I'm being thorough. I'm just going to let it play out, and then I'm going to go back to medium wave. Thank you for watching. Here we go. Approaching the end. And for that one person that's watching, thank you. You're a dedicated guy. Thank you. Love you, bro. Excuse me. Here we go. Here we go. That's it. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're done. All right, there we go. We're done. The volume. Excuse me. Let me. Jesus Christ. There we go. Manual. Go back down here. Okay, here we go. All right, so there we go. No, I'm gonna put manual. Manual.
Out of the womb, I sanctified thee. I set you apart, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Say not I'm a child, verse number 7. For thou shalt go to all.
There you go, brother. There, he's everywhere.
And whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. No choice, whether you want to do it or not. This is my doing, saying God. You're going to speak. You're going to talk to the nations. And you're going to do what I said. You're going to do it. It's now or never, God said.
Sound like Hulkamania right there.
I worded you.
Did he just sound like Hulkamania? What are you going to do when Jesus Christ comes for you? Right? Did he just do a Hulkamania thing right there? Oh my God.
Never forget how many times I've spoken these words to the people I talk to.
Because I heard that before. He said, what you going to do when the Hulkamania comes for you? No, it is Hulkamania. But you know. Oh my God.
I won't stand before them anymore.
What are you going to do?
Amongst God's people. Their faces. Last night, one of the last things I did is I came out of the prayer room. As I was sitting, and here come the brothers, and they all sat around me again. And I looked at their faces. And I guess I got a little bit perturbed again.
Yeah, he get perturbed. He is perturbed. He says, because I heard this shit before. I was like, what you going to do He sound like Hulkamania. What you gonna do when the rapture comes for you? Like, what the fuck? I say, yo, he sound like Hulkamania. What you gonna do? Oh yeah, what you gonna do? Oh no, well that's Randy Savage. Oh my god.
The opinions and views expressed.
Yeah, exactly.
Not necessarily reflect those of AM 620 WSNR.
Oh my god.
This is AM 620 WSNR, Jersey City. There you will find our mailing address, radio schedule, and phone numbers, where you can listen to the broadcast at any time on your phone. Also, make sure to check out the Overcomer podcast. Our prayer line is 843-701-5053.
And by the way, here we go. Sorry for that. All you people that are crying about VOA, this fucker is on every fucking frequency. And he's dead. Oh my God. How the hell that shit happens? So many donations, and this fucker's been dead for like 4 years or whatever the fuck it is. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So when you cry out there about VOA, oh my God, he just cut off you. No. They can go private. It's okay. They can go private. They can go private. Because Brother Stair, even from the grave, he's still all over fucking shortwave and medium wave. 8 on FM. What the fuck are you guys talking about? About free speech is being squashed. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
And I give it God. His word is true.
It's living proof right there.
He picked me up out of a horrible pit. He set my feet
federally
on a solid,
subsidized,
and he established.
Hey radio. No, this guy's doing it with his with donations from the dead. Get the hell out of here, bro.
But what a testimony of God concerning that man. He's a man after my own heart. And there will always be a king, David. Always. He was my pattern. He was my example.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Jesus.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny that he's still doing this shit. And he's dead. He's dead. Oh my God. You know, so all you crybabies out there, oh my God. Oh my God. He's dead. No. Wake up. It's an old medium. Nobody cares. I'm being honest with you. I'm a shortwave listener guy. I love shortwave, but nobody cares. Okay? It's a hobby that I love and we love. But you know what? Being a realist, he's not economically viable no more. So suck it up, buttercup. It's going to happen all over the world. There you go. Anyway, I'm out, baby. I'm out. Thank you for watching. I love you all. And have a great week, everybody. And, yeah. Let me hit this thing right here. And bye-bye. Thank you.